How's it going, everyone? The holiday season continues to roll on, and a ton of new game releases on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 await. Want to go over all of the new releases this week, a little bit more of a quiet week, especially after the juggernaut that was last week. However, still some major stuff dropping this week, so don't get it twisted. But let's get right into it. We've got a free game, we've got free DLC, we've got a plethora of games from a plethora of different genres. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's start things off with Syberia: The World Before, a story-driven adventure point-and-click title. This game dropped on PC early this year, back in March, had a very positive reception on Steam. Across 1,500 reviews, 92% of those reviews were positive and 81 on Metacritic as well. Embark on a quest for identity through time as you piece together the puzzle of two lives. So don't expect something super action heavy with this one. Expect something more story driven, expect something a little bit more slower paced, but the game notes unravel the intertwined fates of Kate Walker, a New York attorney whose life was turned around by the call of adventure, and Dana Rose, a young and promising pianist whose career is threatened by the shadow of the Second World War. A tale like no other. Embark on a magical journey through the enchanting cities of Eastern Europe, both in 1937 and 2004, accompanied by some great music. Carve your path across an unprecedented adventure using your wits, repair broken instrument, open tricky locks, find elaborate ways to activate mechanisms from the past, but above all, watch closely for your surroundings. Syberia: The World Before will finally be hitting PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on November 15th. Next up, a huge free-to-play release. Let's go with this one. Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. Obviously, the Battle Royale market is incredibly saturated. There's an incredibly diluted amount of space in the market. However, Call of Duty Warzone has really stood out, maybe because of the Call of Duty name brand being attached to it. Nonetheless, it has really had a strong player base attached to it. Home of Warzone 2.0, use 18 major points of interest to plot your victory in Battle Royale, or explore them en route to extraction in the brand new DMZ experience. Ready for the new era. Massive gameplay innovations and new features make Warzone 2.0 an incredible experience built on the community learning since Call of Duty Next. A shift in perspective. Third-person playlist coming in Season 2 Warzone 2.0. For the first time in Warzone history, we welcome fans of third-person Battle Royale action during Season 1. You've got a brand new, gigantic map and battleground for Warzone 2.0. Those who are playing Modern Warfare 2 right now are getting some serious training. For example, the following multiplayer maps are subsections of the massive region: the Fortress, Embassy, the Hydroelectric, Tarak, Sarif Bay, and Said are all battle maps and core maps within this gigantic battleground that will be accompanying Warzone 2.0. On top of that, Warzone 2.0 is ready to make its impact as a rebuilt, free-to-play, free-for-everyone take on the Battle Royale game that has redefined Call of Duty franchise. Before the Season 1 launch, an entire blog will be dedicated to diving deeper into the new features and mechanics that have been updated since what was shown in Call of Duty Next. For now, there is a taste of the highlights that they're sharing. Loadouts are not leaving, looting mechanics, Battle Royale remaining traditional, new backpack system in DMZ, defining the new Gulag, AI combatants in Battle Royale, only at Strongholds, Black Sites, and Gulag overtime, additional new features, aquatic combat, new vehicles, and fuel mechanic, and more. A lot is being introduced here. A lot is outlined on the official Call of Duty website, so go check that out if you're interested, but Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 will be dropping on November 16th. Next up, we have a brand new survival open world title, Starsand. Starsand is a mystic survival game set among the dunes of an arcane desert. An open world full of danger, vast environments, and mysterious happenings await you. Explore, hunt, craft, build, and survive. The game has seen a mostly positive reception on Steam, 534 Steam user reviews, again, mostly positive there for 75%. $19.99 is its early access price. I know survival games are a little bit redundant these days, but Starsand is the desert survival game. Dangers, mysteries, and puzzles await you. Find out exactly what happened, where you are, and what connects you to the history of an extinct civilization. Will you manage to survive in the inhospitable environment, find answers, and find your way back to your old life? Starsand drops on November 17th. Next up, one of the major releases last week in Sonic Frontiers is getting a major piece of DLC, and the Sonic Frontiers Monster Hunter DLC, that'll be dropping Monday, November 14th. Now, I'll talk about Sonic Frontiers in a second, but Sega will be releasing a free Monster Hunter DLC pack for Sonic Frontiers, which includes a Rathalos armor set and a cooking minigame that allows Sonic to power up by eating some meat. Look, I think Sonic Frontiers is incredibly underrated, especially from a critical review standpoint. Does the game have issues? Absolutely, but if this is the next evolution of Sonic going forward. They have laid out the foundation, the fundamental aspects that they can build upon to really cultivate Sonic into a AAA premier franchise. I really do believe the fundamentals and the foundations are there for Sonic Frontiers. If you don't want to drop $60, I can understand. I've always been of the mindset that $60, $70, those games require them to be absolutely premier titles, and maybe Sonic Frontiers at this point is not that. But I do think it's a damn good game that you should have on your radar. At some point, pick it up, and I have been having a really good time with it. A lot of content. The traditional Sonic gameplay maps have been really enjoyable, and the new style of gameplay, I think they can build upon that and create something incredibly compelling in the future. And what we have with Sonic Frontiers, I think, is already pretty darn good. And again, Sonic Frontiers, the Monster Hunter DLC pack, will be absolutely free. Some additional content coming to that. And by the way, there is more additional content for Sonic Frontiers. Sign up to the newsletter, and you'll get some throwback boots from Sonic Adventure 2. So I think you guys should check that out as well. All you have to do is sign up to the Sonic Frontiers newsletter or the Sega newsletter, something like that. We've covered it in the past, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, next up, RWBY Arrowfell will be dropping on November 15th, coming from WayForward and Arc System Works. Dive into an explosive new RWBY adventure, instantly switch between 4 characters, and use their weapons and semblances to battle a mysterious new threat in this in-canon story set during RWBY Volume 7, featuring new songs by Jeff Williams with vocals by Casey Lee Williams as well. RWBY obviously has a pretty strong fan base, and RWBY Arrowfell will be dropping on November 15th. Next up, we have the Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me. A group of documentary filmmakers receive a mysterious call inviting them to a modern-day replica of serial killer H.H. Holmes' murder castle, but on arrival, they soon discover they're being watched and even manipulated, and suddenly there is much more at stake than just their ratings. Obviously, this is coming from Supermassive Games, published by Bandai Namco, but Supermassive has been one of the more notable studios in this style of Choices Matter, narrative-driven horror titles. They've been really one of the pillar studios as far as developing these kinds of games. $39.99 is the price point for Dark Pictures Anthology Devil in Me. Might be a little bit high, but make sure you play the other titles before you jump into this one. Devil in Me will be dropping on November 18th. Next up, a major PlayStation 5 release of a fantastic JRPG. We have Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. Ys 8 is a tremendous JRPG. Does it need a PlayStation 5 release? Probably not. It runs pretty darn well as it is, but Ys 8 is an excellent entry point to the Ys franchise. It has excellent combat, great soundtrack. I mean, the music in Ys across the board has always been stellar, and a really solid story with mystery and intrigue here. Lengthy game. If you're looking to buy the game to own it, it's going to be dropping on PlayStation 5 on November 15th. I should note it is available on PlayStation Plus Extra, so if you want to play it right now, if you're subscribed to that, you can check that out right now. That is the PlayStation 4 version of the game. Otherwise, the PlayStation 5 version will be dropping on November 15th. And lastly, another horror title, Do Not Open, will be coming November 15th. This has been in development for a little bit. Do Not Open is a terrifying first-person escape room experience based on randomness in puzzle combinations and classic survival horror mechanics, boosting replayability to discover the plot and lore. Each game will contain different rooms and puzzle variations being different to solve. Do Not Open is a game that is looking to have a lot of replayability, and if you're into horror games, another one to keep on your radar. It drops November 15th, and that is going to do it for me. Again, not quite as stacked of a week of releases as last week. However, you have Syberia World Before. That's a pretty notable story-driven game. Warzone 2.0 is probably going to be the star of the week in terms of the most amount of mainstream appeal. That is going to be a major release, and you've got a couple of other notable titles rounding the lineup up. If you've yet to play Ys 8, definitely do that. That's a great JRPG, but that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.